gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to yet another episode of Perth Podcasts, Athlete Things, Road to Worlds 2024, Lithuania. I'm Bobby Tan from Perth Motion, and joining us as our guest speaker today, we have Kirsty. So, Kirsty, how are you doing today?
Good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
No worries. It's a pleasure. So, Kirsty is our Perth Motion athlete, coached by Steven. It's been about 2 years. So, how has the experience been?
I would say it's exceeded my expectations, to be honest. I started with Steve 2 years ago, and it's only been up from here, progressing every comp. So yeah, it's amazing.
What you did say exceeded your expectations. So, what were your expectations?
I just expected myself to get stronger, but I guess not to this level. It's kind of like I blinked and I'm going to Worlds.
Yeah, because you started off sub 300, right? As a 57.
Yeah.
And bling, yeah, you're in the 400s now. You secured your ticket to Lithuania.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it must feel very surreal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like going to Worlds was more of like a life goal that I achieved once in my life, but it's happening, so why not?
Yeah. So in the recent APA Nationals, you pulled for second against the GOAT, Craven. So, and it wasn't very far off, was it?
Yeah, it wasn't too far off. Deadlifts were very on that day. I just knew I was on just from warm-ups, more than any other competition, so that was a good sign.
Yeah.
And I remember having a chat with Dave, who was handling me.
Yeah.
He asked me if I wanted to either pull for first or just pull for second. I was willing to pull for first, but by calculating the numbers, I needed close to 200.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was there, so we played it a
Your
bit safer.
competition best was like 182, right? Before that?
Yes,
And
182.
to pull like near 200 after that, it's just, yeah. But you did close the gap with yourself and Liz, and with other fierce competitors like Sarah and Kelly. I feel
Yeah.
like the 57s isn't just Liz anymore. You know, there's so many people going after her spot, and I think that's wonderful, especially like in such a prestigious competition like nationals. I think that's where we want our best lifters to be.
Yeah, it's honestly
Yes.
gotten so competitive,
Yeah.
which is great.
It's fun, right?
It's definitely way more fun with competitors and having to battle.
Yeah. So, were you always this competitive, even like before you went on the Steve?
No, I kind of started off as just like a normie, just wanting to get strong. I remember my goal for nationals in 2022, which was my first comp under Steve. My goal was just to not come last. I would be happy with just coming second last. And then come to this nationals, my goal was to make it to podium. So it's been a big shift.
Yeah.
A lot of change in mindset, I think. But yeah,
Was Steve a part of it?
definitely.
Yeah.
Steve always pushes me to be better. And it's always great to see, I guess the numbers keep going up after comps. It definitely gives me more confidence in myself. But yeah, we'll see what we can do at Worlds.
Yeah. So, when would you say like your mindset switched? Like, you have been working with Steve, and Steve has been helping you out with your mindset. But when do you realize that, like, oh, okay, where did it went from I'm happy with second last to I want a podium?
I think it was States last year, which wasn't that long ago. It was like October last year. I think I came second.
Against Sarah, right?
Yes, against Sarah.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that I could come second, so that was a shock to me. So I think that's where it switched.
Right. And so, how was your prep and your mindset going into Nationals 2024?
Well, I think knowing that I was up against such strong people, Liz, Kelly, Teresa.
Yeah.
I was projected fourth, and I do remember telling Steve like a week before comp, like that I'd have to pull something super crazy, just make it to podium. So I was kind of doubting myself because everyone was so strong and I could see them getting stronger. But yeah, I ended up pulling from fourth to second, which was pretty cool. So my
Yeah.
deadlifts always helped me out.
Yeah, she's a massive puller, like 192.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the hardest, right?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit more.
Yeah.
So after that, after Nats, you got your silver medal. And when did you realize that you had a shot at Worlds?
It was kind of in my head. Like
Yeah.
Steve told me, I had a shot. He always knew that I had potential. But I think it hit me maybe when they sent out the invites. Before that, I was kind of in denial that I wouldn't make it. I'm not strong enough. But then once the invite came out, it became official. And even after I got the invite, I was like, nah, it's not true. I was in denial for so long because I couldn't believe it. But yeah, it's definitely an opportunity that I won't miss taking up.
Yeah. And now that you're going to Worlds, and how do you have like sort of a roadmap with Steve? Because we are still quite far out. I think we're like 10, 11 weeks out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from your prep for Nationals compared to your prep for Worlds, is there any like starking difference so far?
Honestly, nothing has changed too much. It's just the days. My training days have changed just
Right.
so I can peak on a different day because that competition day changes.
Yeah.
Everything else is pretty much the same because what we have seems to be working. That's what
Yeah.
we need to run. So, yeah, we'll just go full steam ahead with this.
Yeah. And okay, just to double back for a bit, you and Dave, you guys were working together at Nationals 2024.
Yeah.
And there was that decision to sort of pull for first, right?
Yeah.
Was there anything holding you back for that?
I guess if I missed that pull for first, I would have made it. I would have went back down to fourth, so I wouldn't have podiumed. So that was
And
on the
you
line.
wouldn't have won the Worlds.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Dave made a really good choice for me. Shout out to Dave. But I didn't even know what number was loaded on the last pull. I was just determined to pull whatever it took. So I just let
Yeah.
Dave do the work. And yeah.
And there's always another comp to pull for the win, right? And to beat Liz.
Hopefully in the future we can, rematch. That'll be fun.
Duke it out. Yeah. Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah,
Since, Liz is such a prestigious name in your country.
definitely. And Sarah, I know she couldn't make it to the Nats.
Yeah.
That just passed. So her in the mix is also crazy. So it'll be very interesting in the future.
Yeah. And were there any set expectations other than to podium, like at Nationals? Were there like more, I would say, intrinsic and individual expectations and goals heading to Nationals?
Honestly, I don't really put too much, I don't think too much about it. I just expect to PR my total. That's what I always hope for, to have fun. But yeah, there wasn't really any other motivation. It was just to, I guess, become known as well. because I was kind of like the underdog for so long. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like, here I am.
Here you are, going to Worlds.
Yeah.
So, like you said, PI or total, right? So, how has that train been like since your first comp with Steve?
It's been crazy, to be honest.
Yeah,
So
tell us more, man.
I've added 112.5 kilos to my total since I started with Steve 2 years ago. And I think there's a lot more room to continue growing from that
Yeah.
total. It just keeps going up, and I don't know when it will stop, but I'm all here for it.
So, yeah. Go on, go on.
I did start a bit, I guess. I had a few niggles at the start when I started with Steve.
Yeah.
And I guess having a history of, I guess, back pain and adductor pain that stopped me from a lot in the past really halted my progress, I think. But since starting with Steve, I've become pain-free. The most pain-free I've been in my entire lifting journey, which is nice, and
What
the strongest I've been.
what what injuries are we talking about?
So I had a lower back injury issues.
Yeah.
It started in like 2018. Oh yeah. I was known as Broken Kirsty. Really, the OG Instagram people know me as Broken Kirsty. I would just be like deadlifting the bar and like squatting the bar. I couldn't even like go to sleep without pain or like sit without pain for like, and it happened for like 2 years of like chronic back pain. I just thought I'd never make it. I remember telling my partner that I would never become a powerlifter. Like I hate powerlifting. And then, yeah, I eventually got a coach and here I am.
So, what resolved the issue and what made you stay despite having thoughts of wanting to quit?
So what resolved it, I think, was a lot to do with form and programming. So that helped by getting a new coach or a coach just to keep an eye on me. Because I think because my squats are so like foldy, I would try to stay up as upright as possible and my back would just go out. So a lot to do with
Technique.
Yeah, technique, especially with squats. So they have come a long way. And I guess what's kept me in the sport for so long has been, I guess I still enjoy training. Even if it's not like SBD, I enjoy sport. I enjoy going to the gym. It's more of a social thing as well. And I guess even if I see myself improve in one lift, that's enough to keep me going. It's motivation to get better the next time. And I guess compounded over the years, it's been crazy to see how I went from squatting
Sub
like
3
body weight.
to
Yeah.
4. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So, what was your main takeaway from nationals? You know, like other than, okay, I know that I made it to Worlds. I know I was this close to beating Liz. It was a fun fight with Kelly Andrews. What was the biggest takeaway for you, like for nationals?
I think realizing that I'm actually strong to begin with. I think I've had a lot of confidence issues or really not believed in myself. I've kind of been sleeping on myself for like years.
People usually sleep on their ops, and here you are sleeping on
Sleeping on
yourself.
myself. Yeah. So that's I think that's the biggest thing. So believing that I can really make it, or there's potential, and I'm an actual competitor up there.
Yeah,
And
in
going to
Australia.
Worlds just
Yeah.
solidified it.
So, like, did you have bouts of imposter syndrome when you do go to comps?
Yes, I think I always will have imposter syndrome. And I think
Even
that's,
now, after nationals?
yes. But I think it's good and bad. It kind of helps me to get better, to keep wanting to be better, because I'm never satisfied. But I guess I do need to be confident as well.
Yeah, you do. We all do.
Yeah.
Because you deserve to be at Worlds because you did earn your spot. It's not like, yeah, someone handed it to you or anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, speaking of Worlds, right? How are you feeling about it?
I'm honestly very excited. I think I'm more excited to just experience it and see all my my idols that I've been
Right.
admiring for years.
Nelly, Richards.
Yes, and Jade, Jacobs.
Yeah.
I think I'll just be like fangirling whilst warming up. But yeah, I'm very
So
excited.
that's great. And it is your first international, right?
Yes, first
So yeah, first international is straight to Worlds. You know, people usually do like regionals and stuff like Oceanias, like Asian stuff like that. But yeah, going to Worlds for your first international comp, that's huge. And stepping onto the world platform, do you feel like nerves will be an issue for you?
um I feel like I'll put a bit of pressure on myself to want to PR my total and to
Yeah.
be better than my comp before. But since there's not a big battle like at the top for me, I think it'll more be about the experience and just taking it in and having fun.
So we don't see yourself experiencing a big battle for you at a meet, right? And for Worlds, it's more about your personal experience, like you said. So
Yeah.
would you say that there's more pressure compared to nationals or less for yourself?
Um, I think a little bit less, but I do still want to see myself, I guess, do better.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. Yeah.
like there's no pressure to have to podium like I did at Nats.
Yeah.
It's more of a experience, I think, for me.
And with Liz Craven missing from this year's Worlds in Lithuania, both the second and third place, you and Kelly Andrews, you guys will be going to Lithuania together. And just for some context for the viewers, right? You guys did total the same at Nets, which is 412.5. And heading into Worlds, I guess it would be your rematch, right?
It will be.
Yeah. So do you see her as a teammate or like a rival?
Honestly, Kelly is such a sweet girl. I've never seen her as a rival, but it'd be good to see what we can both pull up.
Yeah.
Because she
It's
did
you
miss
guys
some
against the world
swimming.
this time, right? It's not you guys against
Yeah,
each other.
yeah. But it's great to have another 57 girl at Worlds with me. I think it's
Yeah.
nice that Australia can, yeah, bring more than one. But
So yeah. Were you
Kelly
gonna say
did
something?
miss some kilos on her squat, I
Mm.
remember. So I guess if she goes 9 for 9, I really have to push my push all lifts to
You
be honest.
can't play safe for deadlifts.
No, I
Leave
should be
everything out on the platform.
yeah.
Have you done that, by the way? Like,
No, I don't think I've like really given it every single, like pushed out every kilo yet. Yeah, because even last nationals there was a little bit on the deadlift, I think. So
yeah,
yeah.
because it was just to secure silver.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, regarding Moles, right? How have your flight plans and accommodation plans been?
So I've booked flights to land 4 days before comp. I'm hoping
And
that
which
should
day do
be
you
enough.
compete?
I compete on the 17th. I think it's a
17th.
Monday.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
land on Thursday?
Yes. The 13th.
And, and how long's the flight? Because you are from Sydney, right? So it's pretty far.
Yeah, it's I think all up about 30 hours. There's about 2 stopovers.
Oh, that's two.
Yeah, I think it depends
Wow.
which route you take. But I'll be stopping at Turkey and Malaysia. Malaysia, then Turkey.
Malaysia, then Turkey. Is it Kuala Lumpur?
Yes.
Right. Then okay.
Yeah, so
It
that'll
sounds like
be
a long flight.
a lot of
Yeah.
waiting and sitting around.
That's 4 flights, right?
1,
No,
3.
three. Three.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3.
Oh my God. So have you prepared yourself for like, have you planned like, have you allocated your hours when to sleep? So like once you reach your, you'll be like right with the time zone already.
Honestly, I haven't thought that deep about it, but that's the truth. Haven't even planned like what I'll be eating. So I should probably get onto that.
Yeah, there's still time, so don't fret it. And did you have to cut for nationals?
No, not really.
Right.
It's probably the lightest I've been. I just sat at my body weight leading into nationals, so I wouldn't have to cut a lot. And I even had breakfast the day before. I mean, the day of comp, ate
Oh
a lot
wow.
the night before, and I still weighed in 55.9. So that was a bonus.
Wow. Yeah. And yeah, there's gonna be a hotel buffet waiting for you, so eat your heart out.
Hopefully, I can still
And
make it.
yeah. And have you thought about like what you want to do in Lithuania other than compete? How long are you staying there for?
So the 4 days before comp, I'll be there.
Yeah. And how many after?
I'm planning to leave probably the day after,
Right. Okay.
just to go on a little holiday with
Where
my
to?
partner. I think we're going to Thailand, which is back
Okay.
over
back to
the
Asia.
yeah. But yeah, there's I guess not enough time and not enough leave from work to plan.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So tell us, what do you work as?
So I'm an occupational therapist, like pediatrics. So I work with kids with disabilities in the community. So that job is very rewarding. It makes me be very patient. But yeah, I love my job.
That's great. And regarding your partner, right? Will he be flying with you to Lithuania?
Yes.
That's great.
Kind of forced him, but he's fine with it. He doesn't mind.
I'm sure he doesn't, right? If he's listening to this.
Nah. He's always been very supportive of my lifting goals. So yeah, it's great to have him there.
Yeah, it's must be nice to like have him with you live on the world stage.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be able to like hear his voice like when you're out on the platform.
Hopefully.
Yeah. And since we're talking about post worlds and your plans, like you have planned a vacation with your partner in Thailand. What are your plans for the future after worlds?
So after Worlds, I do want to become like the national champ of Australia. I think that would be cool. So that's a goal I'll be working towards to being number one.
Yeah, number one, right? And right after worlds, it's just gonna be next 2025.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sounds good.
So that'll be exciting. I'm keen to already get back into training after Worlds.
Already thought about it.
Yeah, it's I love training, so it's never like a chore. So
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And being the number 157 in Australia, is that what you saw yourself when you first started powerlifting?
Definitely not. I don't even think I thought I could be number one last year. So it's only just recently that I've realized that I'm getting more competitive, and I'm actually stronger than I think I am. So, yeah, realizing that has kind of lit a fire in me to want to be up there.
Then we'll see each other at the top one day, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will.
So I think that concludes like the episode. So before we end things off, like, is there anything like you want to say to our viewers, or like anyone you want to shout out to?
Shout out to Steve for getting me this strong. It's been a crazy ride. But I guess you've got to do it for the long run. I think powerlifting is, you've got to enjoy it, and a lot of it is discipline. A lot of hard work. Don't sandbag your accessories, and just train hard, I think. And the results will come before you even realize it. So, yeah.
All right. So that concludes our episode of Perth Podcasts, Athlete Things, Road to Worlds 2024 Lithuania. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. Always a pleasure.